Appreciate. If you do that every day, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, what can I be appreciative for? That will start forcing you to focus on something good and positive, which will mean, by law of attraction, more thoughts will come in, and your positive ball will start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the procedure. You're at conscious competence, so you have to do it. You won't get to unconscious competence until you get to the point where your positive ball is bigger than your negative ball. This makes sense? This is why it's important, if you're doing the technique and you're defining what you want and you're thinking about it but you're feeling bad, you can't focus on that, because that goal then is too big at that moment. You're spending too much time thinking about the how and the lack of it. Do you understand? When you're thinking about something you want and you feel bad, that means you're convinced you're not going to get it. You're focusing on the lack of it, the fact that you don't have it. And now you're vibrating, I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it. I don't have it, I don't have it. And when you're focusing on that, that's what you get more of. See, it's perfectly okay if you say, well, I'm massively in debt. I don't have much money. Right? Let's say that's your situation and you want more money and you want to get out of debt. So it's okay to say, right now, I am massively in debt and I don't have much money. That's the situation. But what most people do is they go, and I have no idea how I'm going to get out of debt. I don't know how I'm going to get more money. I don't know how I'm going to get more money. I don't know how I'm going to get out of debt. I just keep getting worse in debt. I just keep getting worse and worse. Nothing goes my way. I mean, I'm so unlucky. Everything is working against me. I don't understand how bad things are. It just keeps getting worse and worse. I'm worse off today than I was a year ago. I just keep getting further and further in debt. I don't understand. Maybe I'm a compulsive spender. Maybe it's the banks. Maybe it's the interest rates. Maybe it's the fees. It's my job. I can't get a raise. I can't get more money. I'm always getting sick. Every time I'm getting close to doing something, it just works out against me. But guess what? You're vibrating that into your life, and that's what you're going to get. Instead, say, I'm massively in debt and I don't have much money. But I have no idea how I'm going to get out of debt or get more money. But I know something will present itself. I don't know how. So right now I know that in time, and I don't know when, but everything will work out fine. Everything always works out fine. I don't know how, but I'm sure things will work out okay. See, you're just trying to get some feeling, some thought that makes you feel better. Maybe for you, you have to say, you know something, I'm in debt, I don't have much money, and maybe I'll never get out of debt. Maybe I'll go through the rest of my life and never get out of debt and never have much money, but you know something? That's okay. That's not so bad. At least I'm not living in some country where I'm sleeping on dirt every day. You know, so maybe I'm in debt. It isn't so bad. See, maybe that is the only thing you can grasp onto and feel good about. And say, but I'm sure things will turn around. Maybe I'll slowly get out of that. Maybe little by little. Maybe something will happen. See, you start thinking just a little better thought. The key is to feel good now, but the real key is don't focus on feeling spectacular. The real key is when I say feel good now, it's feel better now. You should always be working on feeling a little bit better than where you're at, because you're all at different levels. Does this make sense? Okay, good. Question. How important and powerful are words? Yeah, we talked a little bit about words. Words, the words you use are really irrelevant, because what's really relevant is when you are speaking words, words do have vibration. But when you're speaking words, it's the attachment of the vibration to the word that's more important. So if I use a word and you use the same word, we may use the same word but have a completely different vibration attachment to it. So the real key is use words that when you're saying them, they make you feel good. They make you feel better. And everybody has different speech patterns and words that you use. Again, my phrase that makes me feel much better is everything always works out. Everything always works out for me in the end. I don't know how, but it will always work out. All is well. That's another phrase that people use. All is well. Things are fine. Things always work out. Things always work out. I don't know how, and I can't explain how, but I just know everything always works out because I'm feeling good and I'm putting out a good vibration and good feelings are coming into my life in good situations. And things will always just work out fine because they always do. So words are important and speaking is important because when you say words, you're reflecting what your thoughts are, but you can also use words to change your thoughts. And you're looking for thoughts that are giving you good feelings. So choose words wisely. Oh, it'll be fine. I mean, that's a great phrase. It'll be fine. It'll work out. It'll work out. I don't know how it'll work out. Everything's terrific. Someone says, how are you? Say a word or a phrase that makes you feel better. You can be as, quote, goofy as saying, I'm good and getting better. Oh, if I felt any better, it'd be illegal. Oh, I'm getting better every day. I'm feeling great. You can say something that makes you feel good, but don't lie. Don't say something that makes you feel bad. Let's say I had a rough night last night. How are you? And let's say you feel horrible. How are you? I feel great. Well, you don't. You feel horrible. So it's perfectly okay. Someone says, how are you doing? Well, I was feeling really terrible, but I'm really getting better. I'm working on really getting better. Because that's an accurate statement. I was really feeling terrible. Well, I got some bad news this morning and I felt like I got hit in the stomach. But I'm working through that and I'm getting better. See, that's an accurate statement. You can feel good about that statement because you're telling the truth. If you say, I feel terrific, I feel fantastic, you're lying. And actually you'll feel worse because your mind is going to be focused on the lack of feeling terrific and fine and on the problem. Make sense? Okay. Question. Excellent question. When you're using this technique in relation to another person, let's say you want this person to give you a raise or you want this person to do something. Isn't their thoughts, goals, and desires affecting the process? The answer is yes. Remember, when you transmit a vibration, that vibration is picked up by other brains and affects physical matter. So when you're dealing with another human being and you're putting out a vibration, and this human being, for example, is going to give a raise to somebody, or this person is going to decide whether he's going to buy your house at a certain price, and you're trying to put that vibration out, they may be putting out a counter intention vibration. Or somebody else may be giving an intention to them as well that's affecting them. This is why it's important that the ultimate, the larger scheme of things, the feeling that you ultimately want is what you're vibrating. And this is why you have to care, but not that much. And this is why one specific thing on a specific time frame is not the ideal way to send out a vibration. But rather, a more general vibration of how you want to feel and a knowledge that there are things outside the radar screen that you don't know about that are probably much better off for you than what you even consider and see with your own two eyes. So if I'm dealing with a person, I want this person to invest in my company. Well, do I want this person to invest in my company? Or do I want investment into my company? And do I really want investment into my company? Or do I want my company to grow and prosper? Do you understand? You may think that you need this guy to give you investment into your company. Otherwise, everything's going to crumble. That's the wrong thought process. Maybe you need investment, but you may think you need investment into your company for it to grow and prosper and you to be ultimately successful. But maybe that's not true. So what you ultimately want is you want your company to grow and prosper so you can be ultimately successful, but that's not true. What you really want is for you to feel powerful and successful and feel that you've achieved something and become ultimately wealthy. That's what you really want. You don't want this guy to give you investment. You think that's the method to get you to the ultimate objective, which is you want to feel powerful, feel that you've achieved something, and become wealthy. That's what you want. You think you want this guy to give you an investment. That's not what you want. So when you're vibrating, I want this guy to give me an investment, that's really not it. So when you actually look at what you want, it's much better to say, what do I really want here? Do I want this guy to give me an investment? No, I think this is what's needed. Guess what, gang? You ain't that smart. This is why you can't assume things that happen or don't happen are good or bad. Because you have to really go, what do you ultimately want here? And let the universe use the best method to get you to where you want to go. So in this example, you don't want this, for example, you don't want this guy to give you an investment, and you don't want investment, and you don't want your company to prosper. What you're really looking for is you want to feel, that you've achieved something, that you've created something, and become wealthy. So focus on that without the specifics, because what the method and the way that you think that's going to happen probably is not the method that is best and the way it will work out anyway. So don't even focus on it. Does this make sense? If you think, I want this guy to buy my house, no. You may think, well, I want somebody to buy my house, no. You may say, well, yeah, I want to sell my house. Well, why do you want to sell your house? So I can have enough money so I can buy a new house. So what you want is you want to buy a new house. You think the method that will get you to buy a new house is to sell your existing house. Well, maybe that's not the right thing. Maybe this is not the right time. Maybe the market's going to change in 6 months that you don't know about. And it'll be much better if you don't sell the house now. And that maybe there's going to be a great new house that's going to be given to you at a spectacular deal, and you can rent this house out and have a fantastic investment. You understand? You don't know the method. So it's much better to be general with your wishes, and it's much better to really, when you're thinking about what you want, ask yourself, why do I really want this? Why do I think I want this? And keep going up the line and go, okay, why do I want this? Because maybe, why do I want this watch? Because that's the watch I want. Fine, and why do you want that watch? Because I think it looks gorgeous. Fine, and why? And what feeling are you going to get when you put the watch on? Well, it goes with my clothes, and it looks gorgeous, and it's totally unique, and I just like the way it looks, and of course I like the way people will react when they see it. Okay, so it's not a watch you even want. What you want is something that makes people look at you as very unique and special, and maybe have money, and you want to feel good. Do you understand? It isn't that particular watch. It isn't even a watch at all. It isn't even a piece of jewelry. So when you start moving up the line and start focusing on this, life becomes much easier because you're letting the universe provide for you the best things instead of what you think. Now, there is nothing wrong with saying I want that particular watch because that's the watch I want. But if you lighten up a little bit and let the universe provide for you, life is much, 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 much easier. Does this make sense? And I can tell you not only easier, but better, because you get better stuff. Because what you think is the best, what you think is the best method, almost ultimately always isn't. Which is why I'll tell you a little secret. When you start wanting things and you get them, most people think this is not what I thought it would be. But when you let the universe give you things, because you're going ultimately higher on the ladder, you feel so much better about it.